Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course, and we're pleased to be joined by one of the best people in all of racing to talk to. That would be, of course, Ron Capps, who drives the Nappa funny car, also Gearwrench, a part of the team this year for Don Schumacher Racing. And, of course, the NHRA kicks off their season at the Gator Nationals. Ron, last time we did this, I think it was before the Gator Nationals, and guess what you did? You won. First off, how are you, man?
I'm good. I just got to Gainesville. We were testing this last weekend in Palm Beach. And so for a lot of teams, John Force was out all last year. So that for them, they were able to get on track. We were obviously not on track since we ended the season in Vegas. So that was nice. I've got a lot of new stuff. There's not a lot of normalcy going on in my life on top of the COVID stuff, and everything going around with that. I've got a brand new team that I'm with. Since we talked last, Ron Tobler retired and my team kind of went off into IndyCar and other parts of the world. And so now I've gotten teamed up with Jack Beckman's old team with Guido. Dean Antonelli is his name, but they call him Guido, and John Medlin. And that whole team that Jack Beckman had the last few years, which is a great team. The car ran really well. So with that being said, there's not a lot of normalcy, and I had to sort of get used to everything and learn names, and I still haven't learned them all yet, but I'm getting there. But yeah, like you said, it's weird to say we're reigning Gator National champs because I think we ran the race in September or October, whatever it was. It doesn't seem right that we're already right back here again. So looking forward to it, though.
Yeah. So, of course, the biggest story heading into this season, of course, with you is that, as you mentioned, Ron Tobler, your longtime crew chief, retired, of course, who you won the championship with in 2016. What's it, how, you said it just getting used to all these new guys and new faces and new places. How is it getting used to just, interacting with a whole new group of people?
There's a lot of things without going into details, because there's some things that they do in the car that are way different than what I've been used to mechanically and in the cockpit. So, I venture off and race fuel altereds and dirt cars and all kinds of stuff. So you learn that you've got to hop in, like the Prelude to the Dream dirt race I did with Tony Stewart. Those dirt late models have so many different things in the cockpit that I was never used to, and I had to learn. And same thing with the fuel altereds and nostalgia funny cars and such. So it's been a learning curve. It's sort of like, I felt like a rookie this year. I mean, I really did. I had a new team. I knew new crew chief to talk with after every run and before every run. I had all these different things in the cockpit. Everything is completely moved around. So nothing's the same. The way I pull the fuel lever, the reverser, everything is different. So there's that going on top of everything else. They run a 6-disc. We used to run the 5-disc clutch, which doesn't sound huge, but it's huge in the way that you feel the car runs, the way it sounds. So, I mean, I could go on a few more things, but it's just been a fun challenge. I mean, I really kind of felt like a rookie. All this off season, I was getting more and more excited that, to get in the car last week and just get used to some of these things. And I'm still not quite there, even though we ran 5 or 6 runs. We had a pretty good amount of, I think, 5 runs that went from 394 to 2 389s that we ran. So very consistent, but I'm not super comfortable yet. And so I'm going to have to go Friday night here in Gainesville and let the clutch out in qualifying. And that's going to be the next run I make. And so it's going to be a little hairy for me, but I'm getting there.
Of course, a lot of people know you, for, of course, your association, your longtime partner. Of course, Nappa Auto Parts has been around for a long time, and of course, around motorsports for a long time. I know a lot. I know you've done commercials in the past. I know you're kind of one of the big faces of the brand, and you also have that Gearwrench thing on your shirt there. So, kind of talk about what partners like Nappa and Gearwrench this year.
Yeah, it's been fun. They have all these other, Pennzoil has been a partner of ours at DSR. And it's been a lot of fun. This last weekend, we did a lot of cool stuff with the Pennzoil 400 out with a NASCAR gang. And we did a live stream with Blaney and Logano, and things like that are fun. I've been used to that since driving for the Snake, back with Don Prudhomme. I was kind of thrust into that NASCAR world because of the status of Don Prudhomme, first of all, but a lot of our sponsors, I also had teammates at that time in the NASCAR world. So I remember the first time I rolled into my first NASCAR race with Don Perdome as my team owner, and we went right into Dale Earnhardt's bus, and we sat in there and didn't talk any racing. And that's one thing I learned. Snake said, don't talk racing. He likes fishing and hunting. And I just sat in Dale Earnhardt's bus with Snake, and we shot the bull for like an hour, and it was crazy experience for me. So since then, it's been fun with these relationships with these other sponsors along the way. So now Gearwrench came on board. A lot of people hadn't heard of them. It's a company that's been around a long time. They actually own Crescent Wrench. They're the original Crescent Wrench, which goes a lot of heritage back in the day. So I'm learning a lot from them, but it's a new relationship, and it's cool because Kurt Busch is their deal over in NASCAR that he does a lot of things with, and they're involved in Supercross. There's another thing I love a lot and I'm very involved with and I follow. So it's been really easy. And we had a guy that was associated with Nappa that brought it to us. So it's going to be fun. They are after before I knew it was announced, I watched their social media, and they're very good. And I thought, man, this is going to help me, first of all, because I can kind of learn a little bit. But just the banter and the back and forth and the fun stuff that we've already done. We shot a lot of ads and stuff this last weekend. So looking forward to bringing Gearwrench out to our NHRA fans and having some fun.
Yeah. There's also another league that you're a part of, the Monday Night League. I know you weren't in last night's race, but it's I know it's been an interesting season so far. I think you made the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken.
I did. I just got knocked out of when it narrowed it down. It's been narrowed down twice, and I was in Indy for the Gearwrench Nappa photo shoot, and so I was gonna talk to JR Todd or somebody about jumping on his simulator while I was in Indy. We ended up having a sponsored dinner, so I couldn't make that. I got the points just for qualifying, but anyway, I got knocked out the next race, even though I qualified top 10, or actually ended up racing into the top 10. But it was weird because I drove from Palm Beach up. I knew the race was going on. I talked to Ford Martin, and I hopped in and listened and watched when I got to the hotel room here last night. That tells you I'm a little older. When I get into Gainesville, it's not heading over to the ale house like I used to, like everybody does, and have some drinks and kind of catch up. I went to my hotel room and logged in and watched iRacing and watched the Monday Night Racing guys. So it was fun. Just watching the guys from always racing it to watching it and listening to them was pretty funny. So I got knocked out of the playoffs, unfortunately. The season starts and we can't make it like it is. And Kyle Busch couldn't make it either. So looking forward to next Monday night. I think we'll all be back in there racing. And then season 3, that's going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that.
And I know you've been a part of both seasons so far. I know Kyle has been a part of it. I think Anthony Alfredo's gotten in on the fun.
Yeah.
Any other new faces that we could see possibly besides the usual suspects?
Well, like last night, James Davidson was leading. He got Wilson gave him a little bump. He was catching him, and he actually passed him, ended up winning the race. James finished second. Alfredo just texted me a few minutes ago. It's funny you bring up his name because it's been fun watching his path in NASCAR, and it's fun to race with him. It's a lot of media guys that are in there and a lot of guys that are in the world of racing, but there's a guy from Goodyear. There's some guys that have websites and guys like you that do media stuff, and it's fun.
Brett Pollock, another one.
Yeah. And our Big Green Egg guy that I have a Big Green Egg at home that I've had for several years, and they do a lot of sponsoring the iRacing. So so Kyle Busch, when he hops in, he always stirs up a little bit of excitement because guys love racing against him and me and some of the other NASCAR guys. So Vargas always does well. Yeah, we'll get these guys that'll hop in if they're home. And look, they're all young kids racing Xfinity and truck. And so Kyle and I and whoever else, we just try to finish the race. And sometimes you got to stay out of their way because these kids are full of what and vinegar, and they're either hammered down or not. There's no holding them back. So sometimes you got to let them go. And then the next caution comes out and you go, see, it's the old bull, young bull story. Sometimes you got to just take it easy and try to finish the race instead of going to the front. But either way, it's fun. And we've had guys jump in, just different racers from different series will hop in that are famous race car drivers. Mario Andretti, end of last year, actually raced with us on the Indy 500 track in iRacing. I was next to Mario Andretti on the Indy 500 track in iRacing. That was mind blowing. So little things like that are always fun. It makes Monday nights a lot of fun.
Yeah. So who's the out of the the racers and kind of drivers and stuff like yourself and Kyle and Anthony, who do you think's some of the biggest names to really watch out for this year? Of course, you got Nick DeGroot as well.
Yeah, Nick, DJ Cummings, who's a guy that we're in a little Discord on our own, and so it's fun that we can talk to each other during the race, as well as you can talk during, obviously, an iRacing.
Yeah.
Gosh, you're gonna put me on the spot now. You're gonna make guys mad at me because I didn't mention their names, but I'll tell you what. Yeah, Nick DeGroot is always fun. I raced in another series with him the other day, and I see these guys when I get invited to these other series to go run that I'll say, hey, there you are. I mean, I raced with you on Monday night. So it's funny to get these professional racers, but I promise you, these guys, man, like DJ Cummins and Nick DeGroot, I don't know how they get any work done. They must be on the simulator all the time because I'll hop on and there they are making laps. And I'll come back later, 3 or 4 hours later, there they are making laps. So they're serious about it. And I wish I could spend more time on the simulator because it kind of pisses me off sometimes. I get these guys and they get up there and they're running better laps. I'm thinking, I'm a real race car driver. I know I could drive a real race car better. How are they quicker than I am? And it's just lap after lap, and it's so realistic. So it's fun when you get Max Pappas jumping in and stirring things up, and just guys like that. I turn into sort of a fanboy like some of these media guys when I'm able to race with people like that. So it's full circle, but it's fun for me.
Yeah. So of course, going back to this weekend at the Gator Nationals, what's the biggest thing you got to do to really go get it done and start off the season right with a big win?
Well, qualify. I mean, Casey, it sounds stupid, but we got a big team, big sponsor, all the right parts, pieces, people. But we just got to qualify first. And I learned a long time ago, you don't start blabbing. You're going to go in there and win the race. I don't care who asks you, I don't care if you're John Force. You ask him, I guarantee you, he'll tell you the same thing. So the especially only get 3 runs. Some of these races this year, we're going to have 2 runs, with COVID, what we did last year.
Yeah.
Same thing's going to apply this year. So that being said, we get 1 Friday night run, which is 5 o'clock. It's not really night, but then we have the 2 Saturday runs. Weather looks good. So there's no threat of weather. So we're not going to lose a run, knock on wood, imitation wood.
Yeah.
So qualify, get in the show Friday night, take the pressure off, and then we're able to get after it on Saturday. And just those basic, it sounds like I'm telling you, something I have written out, but it's honest to God. That's the way I approach every weekend. Get in the show. Let's use Saturday for what we're going to do on Sunday, because those are similar race conditions. And you don't want to be not qualified and have to try to qualify on top of that. You want to really learn, push the limit here, push the limit there, learn what the track's going to do, because it's going to be mid 80s. It's going to be beautiful, but it's going to be mid 80s. It's going to be tricky. And God, I've gotten to luckily win. With our new team.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ron, thank you so much for talking with us. Good luck this weekend at the Gator Nationals, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you having me, Casey.
Yeah.